A life dedicated to change. Introducing Frances Willard. Frances Willard was an extraordinary woman who dedicated her life to making the world a better place. Born in 1839, she became a powerful voice for social change in America. Willard believed in equality for all, especially for women, and fought tirelessly for their rights. She is best remembered for her leadership in the Temperance movement, a campaign against the consumption of alcohol. Willard's passion and determination made her one of the most influential figures of her time. Frances emerged as a force to be reckoned with, a woman driven not just by conviction but by a vision of a better society. She believed deeply in the power of reform, but more importantly, she believed in the power of women to lead it. At the helm of the Women's Christian Temperance Union, WCTU, she took what was initially a fight against alcohol and turned it into a movement that would ripple across the nation, touching issues far beyond temperance. To Willard, temperance wasn't just about banning alcohol. It was about addressing the pain and instability it brought into homes. She saw the damage wrought by alcohol not as an abstract societal problem, but as a deeply personal one that destroyed families, leaving women and children vulnerable. Husbands and fathers would squander earnings at saloons, leaving their families destitute, or worse, inflicting violence in drunken rages. Without legal rights or economic independence, women were often trapped, powerless to protect themselves or their children. Willard knew this wasn't just a moral issue, it was a matter of justice. But how could women bring about change when they lacked a voice in the very institutions that made the laws? For Willard, the answer was clear. Women needed the vote. Under her leadership, the WCTU adopted what she called the Do Everything policy. This bold strategy expanded the organization's mission beyond temperance to encompass a wide range of social reforms, including women's suffrage. Willard argued that if women were to protect their homes and communities from the ravages of alcohol, they needed the political power to do so. Voting wasn't just a right, it was a tool for enacting the change they so desperately needed. Willard's genius lay in her ability to connect temperance and suffrage in a way that resonated with her audience. She framed the vote not as a radical demand, but as an extension of women's natural role as moral guardians. Women, she said, had a duty to safeguard their families and society. How could they do that effectively without the power to influence laws? Temperance laws, prohibition, child welfare, none of it would be possible without women's voices in the political arena. Through her tireless advocacy, Willard bridged the gap between two of the most significant movements of her time. She worked closely with suffragists like Susan B. Anthony, showing how intertwined their causes truly were. Under Willard's leadership, the WCTU became one of the largest and most influential women's organizations in history, proving that temperance and suffrage could not only coexist, but strengthen one another. When the 18th Amendment brought prohibition into law in 1919, it was a testament to the groundwork laid by Willard and her allies. Just a year later, the 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote, marking another victory for the intertwined movements she championed. Frances Willard's story is one of vision and strategy, of a woman who saw the struggles of her time and found a way to connect them. By tying temperance to suffrage, she didn't just advance two causes. She helped redefine the role of women in American society. And in doing so, she left a legacy of reform, resilience, and empowerment that echoes to this day. Thanks so much for watching.